Before we get into today's incredible podcast with Gabby, I wanted to share with you guys, in case you haven't heard, I recently launched my raw vegan course. This is 27 videos that teaches you everything you need to know about going raw vegan. It includes all of my recipe books as well, so you have over 100 recipes and everything you need to know start to finish, or to do it as a 30-day cleanse. It even includes a hypnotherapy session that you can listen to before bed to help you keep eating those fruits and veggies and get off the crap. It is such a good course. I put my heart and soul into it and everyone is loving it. So pick it up today. I'll put the link below and let's head into the podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to this awesome channel. Today we have an incredible return guest for you guys. Her name is Gabby. She's gorgeous. She was recently on when she completed a 40-day juice fast. She was on day 34 and you guys loved her so much, and so did I. We brought her back because after the juice fast, which she recently completed, she did 30 days fully raw vegan. So she inspired me on social media. I had to bring her back on. I want to get the results. I want to get some more inspiration like we did from the last podcast. And I just have a little bit of a surprise to start the podcast with. Gabby, I think you're so amazing. And I know in the last interview, you said that you want to manifest a nama. So I decided today that I'm getting you a nama and I'm shipping it to you tonight. So it'll arrive next week or within the next couple of weeks. I'm getting you a nama.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I want to get you one. So I'm going to send you the new one, the J3.
Okay.
I remember you saying I'm manifesting one. So I'm getting you one. And you're so nice to take the time to come here to the Airbnb, and I wanted to surprise you.
I don't know how I'm going to move on from it.
You can.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you can get juicing more raw foods. You're funny. Everybody loves their namas. This is actually the third one I've given away today. I'm so excited. I got one for my friend for her birthday, and then we gave one away at the event, and I have to give one away to Gabby. So yeah, that's exciting.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't even know how to.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the order for you tonight and send it to you.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Gillian.
Yeah. So so the juice fast you did was so life-changing for you, right? So anybody who didn't tune into that, let's just do a quick recap and then we'll get into the raw. So what happened with that? Like, what were the big, amazing changes that came from the juice fast from 40 days?
Okay, so the day we had the interview, I think I was on day 34.
Yeah.
And so after that, I mean, I was just so hyped after speaking to you, and just the feedback from that particular video, that just propelled me to do the 40 days, to complete the 40 days. When I finished the 40 days, I told my husband, you know what? I think I could do day 41. He's like, no, that's it. That's it. 40 days and 40 days. And I'm like, okay. But I could totally see why people could do 60 days, 90 days, up to 120 days, because after I think you jump that little hump, it's just smooth sailing. You're feeling so much energy in your body. For me, at least, I didn't have any of the inflammation that was manifested in my knees and in my ankles and my joints, and the gastro disturbance that I had was like, I didn't even feel anything. So it was very easy for me to be like, I think I want to keep on going. But then I had to honor my husband, because it is a commitment, and it is also a financial commitment too. So after that, I lost 12 pounds. I wasn't a big person per se. I was within a healthy weight range.
Yeah.
Right. However, when I lost those 12 pounds, I definitely felt it. I felt it, again, probably part of why my joints didn't hurt that much. And I felt lighter. And like I had mentioned, I practiced yoga.
Yeah.
And just going into the poses, it was just more effortless. I started running again, and it was something that I had stopped doing for many years because, again, the pain in my knees and in my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I started running slowly, like 1 mile. And so it was like, wow, I feel so light. In our little gym, I have a weighted vest, and it's exactly 11 pounds. So I put it on, and I'm like, oh, that's what I was walking around with.
True. Yeah.
I was walking around with 11 pounds. And even though those 11 pounds, you just get used to it, I guess, right? But I didn't really understand how much it was affecting me as far as my frame and my joints and just overall the extra weight. So that was one of the benefits. It's like cool benefits. I'm like, wow, you know, I'm lighter. I feel more energy. I sleep better and I sleep really good. And I know the difference between like having chronic insomnia. And then now it's like, wow. And when you sleep, people don't understand that when you don't sleep, it just really affects your day.
Big time. And your mental health and your energy, just your happiness, everything.
Everything, your mood, you are a little bit more, your body's more an alarm, like alarm.
Mm-hmm. Like more fight or flight.
More fight. Yes, that's what I was going to get to. It's like more fight and flight. You're just more on edge. So the sleeping is like, if again, I always say, I have these sayings like, if that's what it takes for me to sleep, then I'll be raw. If that's what it takes for me to be able to run, then I'll just eat uncooked. You see? And so after the 40-day, so those are the benefits that I got from the 40-day, plus just meeting you.
Yeah, that was amazing. Your podcast inspired so many people. They loved it. And then you broke the fast. How did you break the fast? And then how was your transition into raw?
Okay, so I went and I saw all your videos, and especially the videos where you have the doctor speaking about how to do a correct refeed. Mm-hmm. And so what I did is I broke the 40 days into half. So 20 days. So I said, for 20 days, I'm going to refeed, and I'll start nice and slow. And I started with watermelon. And let me tell you, I put this on my Instagram because another thing is that before I did the interview with you, I only had like, I think 35 people following me on my Instagram. Yeah. And that was like my husband, my family, my close friends. And then after the interview, it's like,
amazing.
Right? And people just wanted to know and were curious. And so I was like, I want to film my refeed. And so I had watermelon. And let me tell you that when that watermelon hit my tongue, and I was chewing, I was like, I started to cry. I got really emotional.
Wow, I love it.
And it tasted like heaven. And it was like, this was March? So, April. I mean, there wasn't really good. It's not watermelon season during that time. So it was like a bland watermelon, pretty sure. But it tasted like the nectars of heaven. Like it was so good. I just started to cry because I felt my jaw move. And it was like, it was a religious experience. So after that, I just continued with watermelon, melon. For some reason, cantaloupe in particular, I couldn't digest it. It would just really cause a lot of cramping in my stomach. So for many years, I never had cantaloupe.
Wow, interesting.
And I could now eat like a whole cantaloupe with no issues.
And see, some people think if you have a juice fast, it's so extreme, it's going to spiral you the other way. So some people might think you're going to break it with Popeye's chicken or something and just start binging. So it didn't have that effect. You didn't have temptations to just start binging on food.
No, I really think that my microbiome changed. I had no cravings for any of that. And I used to be a big popcorn lover. Like I would have popcorn for dinner. Even my kids are like, Mom, that's so gross. You're having popcorn again. I would, with coconut oil, my popcorn, my Earth Balance butter, and just the right amount of salt. And I was happy. And now it's like, I have no craving for popcorn.
No way. I've heard people say this. So it like resets your microbiome, they say. So it really helped with the cravings.
Yes. And that's why it propelled me into doing this 30-day raw eating, because I was just craving. If that watermelon tasted like so good, I'm like, I could do this. I could do watermelon. I could do oranges. I could do all of the foods that I juice. I could do them now in their whole, packaged way, natural way. So I am now having so much fun. And I've learned to make certain foods that are fun. Like, for example, I do my flatbreads, I do my wraps. And so when Friday comes or Saturday comes and the family's having pizza or whatever, I don't feel deprived because I just take out my flatbread and I do my version of a pizza. I dehydrate the flatbread. And that's like my little weekend treats. And then during Monday through Friday, I have my fruit in the mornings. And I'll have either a salad in the evenings, or sometimes I could tell you, and now this is a disclaimer, okay, because I don't think that everyone's system is different. but I could really go on one meal a day.
Yeah, I love one meal a day.
And I didn't
usually
even
just do fruits and juices and
Yeah.
smoothies and have a big meal in the afternoon, late afternoon. That's what I like to do.
I
I know a lot of
never.
people, they thrive on that.
I've never. When I would see people that, oh, I only eat one meal a day, I'd be like,
The OMAD.
what?
You'd be like, you're nuts,
I
right?
was like, what?
No, it's great.
I could find myself eating one meal a day. I love fruit.
And you're still eating a lot though, right? You're not just like,
Oh,
I'm having
no, no,
one
no.
meal. Like you're still consuming a lot of calories and just one large meal a day.
No, I don't
So
like
this
to
is
do
a new
that.
thing for you that you found on Raw, the one meal a day.
Though, yeah, just naturally. Like, it's like, I'm not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hungry and I don't feel like I'm falling over. I have enough energy to do my yoga, go running, study, work, be a mom, homeschooling, feed my family, plant-based meal. I don't be a friend. I don't feel like I'm withering away.
And have the people around you notice differences in you too, like your family and stuff?
It's very interesting that you should say that because I think that with this new way of nurturing myself, it's been very interesting as far as the reactions of people around me. And that's why I'm so grateful that I was able to come to the Raw meetup. And it's something that I want to do in my community too, because not a lot of people received this type of, I don't know, what do you say? I don't want to call it a diet, but it was just something that wasn't really well received, right? It was seen like almost to the point where I'm afraid to share about it, right? So
well, not that many people do this, right?
Yes,
it's more normal to eat Popeyes and Chick-fil-A and Arby's. You know,
that's
we're
more
not
accepted.
The normal ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's more accepted. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. So, but I hold space for them, and all I could do is just be myself. And you know, if myself and me eating this way is a mirror to how they're taking care of themselves, that's nothing I could do about. Right.
True.
But I just want to be an inspiration and let people know that if you're tired of being sick, if you're sick and tired, I know there's something out there. You're sick and tired of being sick, chronically sick, then why not try? You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to be deficient in any type of mineral or vitamin. And that's one thing that people would be very concerned about. But how about, my concern is that how are you getting your mineral? How are you getting your protein? That doesn't seem healthy. It seems like it's too extreme. It seems like, you know, don't get too caught up into it and all these different types of things. And I receive what is going to benefit me and I reject what's not going to benefit me. But because I know how well I feel, I'm not going to compromise that by someone else's, you know, perspective of how they should eat or how I should eat.
True. Well said. And you notice eating this way, you notice that you feel better than eating the cooked food. You notice a big difference.
Oh my gosh, Gillian. I feel so much more calm and so much more gentle. And I was really always someone that was kind of like, I could be very gentle and very sweet, but also had this other side, right? And I could see myself being more gentle and more sensitive to people's feeling, more sensitive to people's state of being. Whereas before, you know, I was oblivious. Oh, you know, someone cut me off. Oh, those jerks. Or, you know, somebody's taking a long time, you know, paying for something at the grocery store. Oh, come on. Now I find myself being more patient,
more in the moment,
gentle, more understanding. And I cry, you know, with things, you know, move me. They move me. And so I see that difference. As far as physically, the food, like I mentioned, oh, I feel so much energy. I feel lighter. I can move faster. I'm more mobile. And what can I say? I'm running again. And that is my, those are things that make me happy, right? Someone would be like running, that, or, you know, yoga, but that makes me happy. And when I'm happy, I'm like bright. And when I'm bright, then people feel that radiation, that radiant light, And then, you know, I could inspire them and make them feel good about themselves. My thing is like, I want you to feel abundant around me. I want you to feel good, you know, when you're around me. And so if that's what happens when I'm eating this way, foods that are alive and just so bright and so hydrating, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And look, you're manifesting. You manifested a juicer. You're manifesting, and you were manifesting on your juice fast too, right? And do you feel like on the raw food too, you have like a higher frequency, and like maybe you would manifest more for you too?
When I eat this way, and I don't like absolutes like, oh, I'm like a raw and I'm never going to eat anything.
Yeah.
Just the other day I went to a conference and we were all having, they were having vegan sushi, and I ordered my delicious avocado salad. It was like so beautiful, and everyone was having sushi. And they're like, Gabby, do you want a sushi? And I was like, and if someone said, no, she's raw, she can't have that. And I was like, I didn't like that. I was like, you know what? I'll taste one. If you're offering one for me, and you know, you're being so kind that you're going to share your, you know, your meal with me, I'll have one.
Yeah.
And I had one, and I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
My habit and how I feel good is eating uncooked foods.
And that's good. Yeah. Cause I think sometimes the labels can make us feel too restricted and stuff. And it's better to be that way.
Yeah. I don't like labels. I grew up with so many labels and so many restrictions, and I want to run far away from that. Yeah. So, I don't know, I forgot what your question, but the manifesting. So, I pray differently now. I pray it like, yeah, it's possible. So, you know, let the weak say they are strong. There's like a verse in the Bible that says, let the weak say that they are strong. So, they're weak, but say you're strong, right? You're strong. So, I truly believe that. So, what I want, if it's in an alignment to what is good and perfect, I'm going to ask for it, and I'm going to say it like I have it. And I would do that about the nama. I'd be like, oh, when I get my nama, and the nama's coming, I don't know how.
Look, and it works, right?
Oh,
because I just felt inspired before this interview. I decided right before this interview I was going to give you a nama.
I'm still kind of like,
and it's funny because it's proof that the manifesting works. Because I know too. I just realized too. You've been talking about when you get one. So yeah. So that's important, right? With the universe to ask for what we want by giving thanks like we already have it.
This right here being in front of you is something that I also manifested. I have this manifesto that I write everything. When I was sick with my stomach, and I would put, with this healthy stomach, I could have orange juice. With this healthy stomach, I could drink coffee. Basically everything that the doctor told me that the GI doctor told me that I was never going to have. I was going to have to take those acid reducing medication. You know, that's just your new lifestyle. I was like, wow, okay, this is my new life. And I rejected that. And I would say, with this healthy stomach, I could have blank. With this healthy stomach, you know, I could eat this and I enjoy this. Like,
so that's how we need to be, not focusing on what we don't have, right? Like, as if it's already done.
As it's already done. And that's what I did. And so I did the same thing with
the
nama.
You need to keep this up because it's working.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it does. And if I could inspire someone to do the same thing and get out of their rut.
No, you've inspired me to do this way by me giving you the nama, realizing you manifested that.
That is like, gives me the chills.
Yeah.
Completely. Right? I this is surreal. This is so surreal. I'm in this beautiful house in West LA, and I'm here talking to
And you're so grateful. I love like the gratitude you have for everything in life. And every moment you seem so grateful. I think that's important. And that brings us more too, right?
Yes. Gratitude helps us look at what we have and not what we don't have, because it's so easy to look at what we don't have.
Yeah, that's really easy.
It's so easy to look at the,
that's the
it's right to look at things that the worst case scenarios, right? Because that kind of sets us up like, I'm at least preparing for the worst. So I think that's why we do that. You're like, oh, I'm preparing for the worst. If I could prepare for the worst case scenario, then I'm going to look at how many ways it could go wrong. So that's why it pulls us away from looking at all the ways that it can go right. And it pulls us from all the things and all the blessings that we already have. I mean, I have, like, for example, there's a saying that we don't say I'm hand, I'm I. We say my hand, my eye. And so I'm thinking, wow, my hand, my eye, my feet, my kidneys, my heart, my brain. Wow, I have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot. I'm like so like abundant.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when I think of all the things that I do have, then I have a heart of gratitude. And I think that's what has helped me lately, is that this heart of gratitude, this heart of what I do have. And not necessarily like I could have been like, oh, I don't have a NAMA. I have to do it on my omega, not knocking off the omega. Okay. But I could have been like, oh, I don't have one. Or even today when the lady won her
Juicer.
I was genuinely happy for her.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I won it with her. I was so, and I felt like, wow, that's how it feels to be really like in gratitude, where you could actually be so happy for others.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love that.
And
being like that.
Yeah. And so for whatever reason, outside of our time and space, something shook to move you to want to give me a NAMA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like,
I love it. And you'll get a lot of use out of it. And so
absolutely.
the food, like moving on to the food a bit. So, because you're going to be juicing, eating raw, do you think you'll stay on this path? And like, what have you been eating in a day? Because I don't think I asked you. Did I ask you that? Like,
no.
What's the diet looking like? Because you're feeling good. So we want to hear, like, what are you eating that's making you thrive like this?
Okay.
It's working.
Okay. So in the morning, I do have, so I used to be a big coffee drinker.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, a big coffee drinker. And I stopped drinking coffee when I had the whole gastric intestinal thing. But I would remember saying, okay, with this healthy stomach, I have my coffee. But once I could have the coffee, I just didn't crave it anymore. I just didn't crave it. And so I started drinking chai tea and just different kinds of teas. But now I started to drink matcha.
Matcha's good.
So I have a matcha in the morning.
Matcha's good in smoothies too.
I'm going to try.
And I feel like it doesn't have the side effects like sometimes coffee or cacao can have.
I don't feel it.
Yeah,
no,
it's nice.
I don't feel it. So
I interviewed David Wolf and he was saying like the 7 top, what is it? Not superfoods. 7, I think, most highly mineral foods on the planet. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Wow. And matcha is one of them. Cacao was one of them too. Wow. But yeah, matcha. I love matcha too.
I love matcha.
I have it sometimes in smoothies.
Yes, and I always share it with the people that follow me on my Instagram. My cup of matcha.
Yeah.
And so then I have my matcha, and then later on I'll have either a big plate of mono fruit. Mangoes is my favorite right now since we have them in season. Or I'll have watermelon with lime and Celtic salt on top. Or I'll have cantaloupe, a lot of hydrating fruits.
Yeah, they do so much for us, right?
Mm-hmm. And that gets me going. So I alternate. So either one morning after my matcha, a couple of hours later, I'll have my mono fruit, or I also have a juice. Mm-hmm. And my favorite juice is grapefruit with orange with beets.
Interesting.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. That's what I've been having lately. And then, so later after that, I'll have a big salad. And I'll just have a salad. I'll put herbs from my garden, bell pepper. I sprout lentils, so I'll put a little bit of lentils in there, sprouted lentils.
Lentils are high in protein.
And they're so filling too. They're so good. And once they're sprouted and their little tails out, it's so easy for the body, for the digestion just to break down. And so I'll have that. And what else? Just a big old mega salad.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. And sometimes, you know what? Instead of having a salad, I'll have like a smoothie bowl. Yeah. And I'll put like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds.
And you feel lighter? You feel lighter eating this way?
Absolutely.
What's the best part?
The digestion. The elimination. It's a huge difference, right? You notice a huge difference in your digestion?
Yes. Yeah, I just realized I don't talk about that enough on this channel. That was the main reason I went raw vegan. My digestion was a mess. I was like having either diarrhea or constipation and not normal formed bowel movements. Sorry to my cameraman having to listen to all this. Sorry. And it was just a mess, the situation. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. And so the digestion changes so much. It's so much more effortless and easy and more frequent. And that makes you feel happier, right? When you're cleaning out more, you feel happier.
Absolutely.
When you're backed up inside, like it can affect your moods and your life big time.
The same as far as like not being able to sleep and not getting your rest. Yes, it's like I say, it's like the trash men forgetting to pick up the trash, and it's just there, right? And then the flies come, and then the rats come, and then all kinds of like nasty rodents come. I feel like that's it. If you're not going to the bathroom and eliminating, then you're causing all that bacteria and all of those parasites just kind of like lingering in your colon, and then you know, that leads to colon cancer and all these different kinds of degenerating things. Yeah. So no, elimination is like, it's natural. And people say, oh, I go to the bathroom every other day, or sometimes even once a week, or it's like, oh my Lord, no, it has to be. So that's the number one.
It should be multiple times a day, in my opinion. Like I go at least 2 times a day, usually 3 times a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I wasn't, I was having problems.
And we don't connect it, right?
We don't. We're just, it's weird because we're so smart humans, but then we're so dumb at the same time. Like, does that make sense? Like,
yes, it does.
It's like, what? We're just so smart that we're dumb. Like, does
it just makes sense. We're so conscious about certain things, but then some other things we're so subconscious.
Yeah, we're like brilliant. But then like these things, it's like we don't connect. It's like, what?
And it's so simple. And like today, the speaker that spoke today in the event, Lauren Lockman, how he was mentioning about how drinking water, how we're so dehydrated. We're walking around with dehydration, and we have all these diseases and discomforts, and it's just because we're dehydrated. Something that could be so taken care of by just drinking more water and then just sipping your water. It
That's
makes
probably
sense.
The biggest thing, the dehydration, right?
The dehydration.
And then with the cooked foods and with the foods that are harder to digest, you need so much more water. So we are like, a lot of people are in a chronic state of dehydration,
Yeah,
and even some of us raw vegans, if we're, not consuming enough high water foods or drinking a lot of water, I think we still need water.
Absolutely. That's one takeaway that I took. It's that I need to drink more water. Absolutely more water, and sip it and not drink when I'm eating. Because if I'm drinking water when I'm eating, then I'm washing away the hydrochloric acid that's there to break down the food. So
true.
So yeah, so I took away that I'm going to start sipping my water and not gulping it down, and definitely drinking more water throughout my day, sipping. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I wonder what's going to change.
I agree. Yeah. And do you feel more spiritual, like on these foods and the juices? Do you notice a difference with that?
Well, just as I mentioned earlier about just feeling more sensitive. And then not only that, but it's interesting because I could also sense like the environment. I could sense like whether it's light or whether there's like a heaviness. And so it's interesting that, wow, it feels kind of heavy here. Or I could be like, oh, I feel so light and just like so welcome, so much love. And it's so easy for me to talk and connect. And there's times where it's like, I feel like I need to watch what I say. I feel like I need to be on guard. There's like a heaviness. And that's something that I've never really noticed, but now I notice that. I notice people's just their state of like where they're at.
Yeah.
And I try not, in the beginning I was kind of like, well, I don't want to be around that, right? But then I'm like, no, I need to know where they're coming from. Why are they behaving the way they are? Maybe, I don't know. So I need to show mercy on that. And perhaps them being around me, then they'll feel a little bit better, and I could give them that abundance feeling or feeling good about themselves.
Exactly.
Yes. So absolutely, that's something that's recently I've noticed, that just sensing people.
More open then, like more cleared out then, probably. That means, you're more cleared out, less resistant, and just, sense the energy of people, more lighter. So you pick up more, right?
I think that's what it is. I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, I know I could read their energy or anything like that. But it's just something I could sense, and then I could just maybe perhaps be there for them in a way that they need to be. One thing that I notice is that we just want to be loved, accepted, feel secure and safe. That's the bottom line. And if I could be in any way, any of that for somebody, even though you're in a bad mood or you're rude, then I'll do that. I'll be that. Taking care of also have to put my boundaries, but the most that I can, I'll do that.
Wow. And through all this, like the juicing and the raw food, have the people around you changed at all? Or your life at all?
My kids say that I'm more hippie-ish.
They do? You're more hippie-ish?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really don't go out a lot, but the people that I do work with, and that I study with, they say that I inspire them and that I encourage them. And so Those are the people that, and as far as my family, my sisters, I'm more patient with my sisters. I love my sisters so much more.
Good.
And my parents, what can I say? I love my parents. And so those are the people that are around me. Those are the people that are around me that I love and that I care about.
Yeah. And who's inspired you the most? Is there anybody that's really inspired you the most on this journey, that's really helped you like stay on track like this? It's not easy to stay on track. 40 days juicing, 30 days raw. Is there anybody where it's like, oh, David, a wolf, he helps me, or like this book, or like, you know, how'd you stick through this? It's really hard for people with all the cravings of all the crap around us, right? You scroll, all you see is pizza, and like our gut, our body's used to all these foods all these years. How did you stay on? What's the secret?
Okay, so there is a lot of vegan influencers and plant-based influencers that I followed when I started this lifestyle back 11 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But they were not very relatable, right? So they were nice to look at and to kind of like, you know, when you watch a movie and it kind of just like, it takes you to a different place, takes you out of your reality, but you really don't have anything in common with them, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how it was for many years. But it wasn't until I found your channel and I was able to go in and see just real people, you interviewing just real people. And that just really took me back, because you are not only just interviewing like doctors and experts within the field, celebrities, influencers, but then you would also, you know, interview just people
real
like
stories.
myself.
Yeah, that's relatable, right?
You know, relatable. I could relate to the mother with the kids. I could relate with the lady with the chronic diseases, with not the latest gadgets and, you know, not all glammed up and, you know, having money for all the latest organic food. I could relate to the waitress, you know, doing the fast. I could relate to these different people. And I was just like, that's what helped me. I would go into your channel and just look at all your library of different people that you would have and just listen to them. And when there was a day that I was having difficulty with, I would go into your channel and just look for somebody that was doing a juice fast, a more challenging juice fast than myself. And right after my fast, you interviewed. And I don't think I should even call it a fast, right? I should call it a juice feast.
Yeah.
But when you interviewed the lady that did the water fast.
Oh, yeah. She's cool. Yeah. She did 21 days, I think.
Yes.
Wow. And then I did one. Did you see the one where she drank only green juices?
That's the one I was, Dragon Mama.
That was inspiring too.
That was another one that was inspiring.
Only green juices for, I think, 40 days.
Yeah.
That's
40
intense.
days. That was intense. So those are the people that motivate me and encourage me. Before I used to be like the celebrities and I wish I could be like this, or I want to buy this outfit, or I want to buy this makeup or whatever because they wear it or they made it. Now it's like those are the people that inspire me the most. The people that are able to do things like that the average person cannot do. That they could do it, but they just don't have the courage to do it.
Yeah.
Those are the people that inspire me the most. Yes.
Wow, I love that.
And you
that's so sweet.
me.
I love that. Yeah, the real stories you can connect with so much more. And I was thinking, well, the other ones too, and I was thinking, how long have you been vegan again total?
Okay, so we started this plant-based journey back in 2011, and then we moved to Puerto Rico. And I was thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have so much variety, the papayas, the mangoes, and I was just fantasizing. And once we got to the island, I was like, oh,
it's not much on the island there.
Everything is brought from the main island from here.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I've never been to Puerto Rico.
Expensive.
Oh, really?
So
and you realized after you moved there?
We moved to Puerto Rico. Yes, we lived in Puerto Rico in San Juan. And so being there for a couple of, once we were there and settled, I was realizing, wow, there really isn't much. That was back then. Now it's changed completely. But so I gravitated back again in introducing dairy and meat. Yeah. And then definitely felt the difference.
You felt the difference.
Oh, I went back a couple of, notches. But oh well. And then we moved back to California, and this was in 2014. And I started again. We started again.
And you've been doing this
since then.
And it's a big difference.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But now doing the raw, it's like, different level.
It makes sense you to track the raw. Like you suit being on the raw, like the raw frequency and the juicing and stuff. It's up your alley.
Yes. Well, I
You
feel
know?
I feel it. I mean, I feel that I'm thriving. I feel like I don't have to give anyone any excuses why I'm doing this.
No.
I love it. I wish there was more vegan raw restaurants in Temecula.
There's some good ones though in LA. Wild Living Foods is good. I
Oh,
just
man.
ordered dinner from there. I'm so hungry.
You
Their
have
stuff
so
is
many
so good.
options over here.
There's a lot of good options these days. You can
Yes.
stay raw, you can stay plant-based. Like, it's not boring. And it
Yes.
makes you feel your best, right?
Absolutely. And then having the right equipment. So now having the Nama.
Now you have the Nama. That'll be a game changer.
That is
If you
gonna
guys
be-
want a Nama, I'll put the code down below. It's amazing. I'm ordering and buying Gabby, the new one, the J3. So it's perfect. I love you. Well, you're manifesting. You're doing great. And what's next? Do you think you'll do more cleansing? Do you feel like you've cleansed? Do you think you'll just...
No, onward. I did a 3-day fast, I think 2 weeks ago. And so I want
3-day
a
water?
a 3-day
Dry?
juice fast. I'm sorry,
Oh.
juice fast, juice feast. I 3 days. So what I would like to do is I would like to have people feel comfortable doing a juice fast, and if they want to, do it with me. So I'm looking forward to doing it once a month, a 3-day juice fast. I'm also continuing my studying with the Mind Change Institute. My goal is to become a practitioner with Mind Change Institute, and help people understand how their mind works and the connection between their mind and their brain. Because I feel like if it wasn't because of the understanding of the laws of the mind, I don't think I would have done the 4-day juice fast. I don't think I would have been here with you.
Wow. Why? Because you wouldn't have the discipline.
I
with your
wouldn't. I
mind?
would have said no. That doesn't happen. I wouldn't dream. I wouldn't imagine. People don't imagine anymore. People don't dream anymore because it's like, oh, what for? It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
True.
And so I changed that perspective of seeing things. I've healed a lot of traumatic experiences that I've had in my past that I didn't know were my driving force of why I did things the way I did them. And I'm just chipping away at those roots little by little. And every time I take out a little root, like the branch changes. Like, this is a branch. The Nama is a branch. And so much, it's changed my relationship with my husband, my kids. And they're just branches because down it's pulling out. And I'm looking forward to that tree just completely falling and my life just completely changing. And this is part of it. So what's in the future for me? I want to become a mind change practitioner with Mind Change Institute. I want to be able to help people just clean up their messy minds, and just whatever comes to me, whatever opportunities, I'm willing. I'm willing and to serve. I want to give.
Yeah.
I want to be able to give,
And that's why you're getting back, because you're giving, and you're serving, and you're trying to make people feel better in your company, not worse, and things like that. And you're right. People, we don't dream as much anymore. And I think part of that might be, I heard somebody say yesterday in a speech that we don't produce enzymes, like digestive enzymes in our body, or enzymes after the age of 30, our enzymes start depleting, or we don't produce them anymore. And maybe that's why you're dreaming more, because you're feeding your body with more living enzymes, more alive. Right?
I never
Because
saw it
a
that
lot of
way.
us get older, we're eating cooked food, we're not taking care of ourselves, our enzymes are depleting, and then there's a connection. We're not visualizing as good or dreaming as much. I don't know, maybe there's a connection.
And we should dream. I mean, God gave us an imagination. Why are we not using it? Right? We have so many, we listen and pay attention to so many stories and experiences and memories that told us that we couldn't, right? You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're too big. You're too small. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too this, that. And we start believing those where it's like, we don't even, we stop dreaming. We stop imagining. And I started now. And I want to do it big because I want to give big. I mean, just the fact that you honored me with a Nama, I envy you for being able to do that. Because I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to give big like that.
Yeah, I love giving. It's better. It feels even better than receiving, I love it. I love to give.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I look forward to being in a place like that where I could be able to give big.
Yeah, you will be very soon. I feel like.
I really do. I mean, before I would think oh no, why do I want to be wealthy? Why do I want to? No, that's not good. That's not humble. But then I started thinking, well, if I'm not wealthy, then how can I do? How can I give? How can I make a difference? Right? I want a difference, but I don't. But if I can't give to make a difference, and I want to make a difference in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, Gillian. I don't know. I have my skills and I have my talents. So I just put them before God and have him use me in whatever way he can.
I love that. I think that's the key. Well, this has been amazing. I always love sitting down with you. I learned so much from you. You're so inspiring. Is there anything else you want to end off with? Anything you feel called to share with the audience? Anything we've missed about your journey, or just any inspiring words at all?
I just did a YouTube channel and it's just very amateur. I just wanted to do something out. I felt, you know what? I need to put myself out there, and things that make me uncomfortable, I'm going to do. So if I could inspire someone, is that if it makes you uncomfortable, do it. If it makes you want to like squirm and be like, oh, do it. Because that's what is going to propel you into something that you're so unfamiliar with. And if you're familiar with it, then that means you're doing the same thing and you're thinking the same way. When you push yourself into something that's so uncomfortable and so unfamiliar, then you're making your brain and your mind work a different way. So if I could inspire you, just take the leap of faith in whatever it is that is before you right now. It could be a new job, a change of career, how you parent, the group of friends that you're around. Just take that leap of faith in doing things that are unfamiliar. Another is try it. I mean, just try a 2-day juice fast, a 1 day, maybe even like one meal, replace it with a juice. And also another thing that I would like to leave is be compassionate, be smart and compassionate. When you see someone that is having a bad day out there in your environment, don't judge them. Really try to go in them and see how they're seeing your space. And then that will give you a little bit of compassion for them and a little bit of patience and forgiveness. And you will have no idea what that is going to do for you in return. So
that was beautiful. Wow. I'm glad you started YouTube. You belong on here.
Oh, yes.
It's true. And what you said about like trying things, like just getting out of your comfort zone or whatever, that type of thing, that is so true. Like last night I was hosting an event with Lou Corona. And I love speaking on camera. I don't care how many people are behind a camera. Like, I love it. I'm so comfortable. But speaking in front of real people in a crowd, like, I feel like I'm going to have a freaking heart attack. Like, I feel like this is it. Like, I'm going to you got to take me to the ER. I can't even handle it. Like, I just clam up. Like, I did an event last year and I just like, I don't even remember what I said. I think I just was terrible. So I was terrified last night to go on stage in front of people because I'm not comfortable. But I was just like, I'm just going to do this. And then I did amazing. So like I got out of my comfort zone. Now I feel like I'm over that fear of like public speaking. Then I feel like it made me grow more. So you're right. People do need to get out there, do stuff. Push yourself. Otherwise, what's the point in being here?
Yes. Wow.
Right?
So you could be a speaker. I could
Yeah,
totally
so
see you being a motivation speaker.
So who knows? Maybe who knows? I could get into big speaking gigs one day, my 40s, 50s, 60s. And I wouldn't get there maybe if I never pushed myself out of that.
Absolutely. And you know what? 50 is like the new, 30?
Yeah, it really is.
I'm 51 and I feel like I'm barely starting. I feel like it's just, I've learned everything. Life has given me every type of experience. And it's like, okay, now go run with it at 50.
I love that. And you're so connected. I love it. You're amazing. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Aww.
Thank you.
Well, everybody go follow Gabby. Follow her new channel, her Instagram, super inspiring. Everything she has, I'll put it down below in the description box. And be sure to follow this channel for more amazing real stories just like this one. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.